What up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is the day I am finally going to walk you guys through the FYRE Festival video that went absolutely viral. Yes, I went to FYRE Festival. Yes, I was one of the only creators that actually made content from FYRE Festival. I wanna walk you guys through everything. I was on the Hulu documentary. I was supposed to be on the Netflix documentary. I was on every publication at the time. Everything was going viral, it was going insane. But I wanna walk you guys through it and talk to you and give you kind of the true story. You know, I was on some of the documentaries and they're able to edit and do things on their own, but I want to walk you through the truth and walk you through the entire video. Let's go.
I'm so Austin Mills with the wrist, yeah. I'm so Austin Mills with the wrist, yeah. I'm so Austin Mills with the wrist, yeah. I don't think I can miss, yeah.
So just really quick before I start, a couple misconceptions about the videos that I never got to explain or talk about. One, I was not a paid influencer to go to this. I planned this with 10 of my friends. It was like 500 bucks a person for flight, for stay, for food, for all this stuff. So we all committed to it early and went to it. I was not paid to go to this. Number two, this was one of the first videos I ever did when I first started vlogging. So it was very weird for me to be behind the camera and just to be looking at myself like that. So if there were things that I was doing that were annoying, it was because I was not used to pointing a camera at myself like that. Number three, I was young, so probably young and dumb, 22 years old, fresh out of college, just excited to go have a fun trip on an island, wasn't thinking it through too much, and the possible things that could have gone wrong. All right, let's get started. It is Thursday, officially the day of my flight to FYRE. I'm tired. I slept like 4 hours last night. I'm hitting the gym now before my flight. We're getting on this flight to FYRE, going to the Bahamas. Again, first time starting to vlog. I know people don't really care how tired I was or that I was going to the gym, but I was new to this. I don't know how many outlets and charging stations they're gonna have on this island, so I'm gonna try to vlog as much as I can. So we'll see how this goes. Made it through security to the airport. You have no idea how hard it is to get an Uber in Miami. Finally got an Uber to the airport. Listen, I'm on Swift Air. Wow. So that was Juliana that I just ran into. She took a red eye from LA. One thing that people mentioned is that I kept playing with my hat. I told you guys one of the first times I had ever started vlogging, so I kept fidgeting with my hat. It's like weird to just point a camera at yourself and look at yourself while you're filming a video. So I apologize for playing with the hat. I don't do that anymore. Another thing is that this was a weird part of the Miami airport that had looked like it was abandoned. I am pretty sure that they just opened this for the flights to FYRE. And has been sleeping in the airport and is now on my flight to the Bahamas. And I just found out that these tents are a disaster. The beds are all wet. Basically everything is a wreck. I'm in this airport that is like the most ratchet airport I have ever seen. Basically getting on like this pop-up airline that pretty much like doesn't exist. I'm saying my prayers right now. It was an airline we had never heard of before. It was simply used for FYRE Festival to take flights of people from Miami to the Bahamas. We were hearing that the tents were wet, that things were kind of a disaster. I hit up some of my friends. I was like, hey guys, we should probably just stay in Miami and not go to this. Try and maybe get our money back from the credit card company or from the company itself. But we should probably stay back in Miami and not go. All my friends were like, no, how bad could it be? We're gonna be in the Bahamas. There's 12 of us gonna be there together. So I agreed. Could be amazing, could be a disaster. Incredible news. 1 o'clock flight now delayed till 4. Now he's explaining a whole lot of nothing to people. So again, flights were being delayed. People had slept there from the night before because flights were already being delayed. There had been a storm that happened the night before. Never been so happy in my life to see this group of bozos. Never been so happy in my life.
The vlog ends here at the airport.
Huh?
I'm in Miami. How many bitches do bears?
The Sandman.
Come on, come on.
Look at this drama queen. Yo, drama queen.
They were calling me a drama queen because I didn't want to go to the Bahamas because I thought that something was going to go wrong or something bad was going to happen.
I miss you, our last picture together forever.
If you guys want Austin to stay, Subscribe below.
So a little fun fact, this is my buddy Payman. He is one of the founders of Mad Happy, which is a massive clothing line now. You'll see some of the OG pieces in this video, that pink hoodie, my hat, some of the other hats, some of the other hoodies. Now they're blowing up. 3 hours later, still in the airport, killing time. We still have no idea what's going on this island. We have no idea where we're sleeping. I tried to bail, they're not letting me. Oh. So this was the plane that we were on. It had no air conditioning. It was a plane, again, an airline I had never heard of, and it was jam-packed, no seats available, no flight attendants bringing drinks, anything like that. So already a weird sign.
Hey, Drew. No, they said no.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As you can see here though, I mean, Bahamas is absolutely beautiful. So it was kind of hard to be that worried about the trip when these were our views out of the plane. So as we pulled up here, this was the first thing we saw when we entered, and obviously not the best looking thing when you pull up to some resort, magical, festival, vacation thing. People on our bus were already starting to get worried. The bus was super hot, it was jam-packed, and then once you pull up and you see these not so great tents, we had people on our bus next to us like crying and already starting to freak out, which makes everyone else even more nervous.
There's no bed in that tent. What's happening? There's no water over there. Oh, Jesus. Maybe we all get to burn it down at the end. No, we just burned all of our money.
Two people? No, how's that bigger bed?
So these are what the tents looked like. It was just 2 beds in every tent, and most of the beds were actually soaking wet because of a storm that had happened the night before. This is insane. After having the flight delayed 3 hours, screeching hot plane, where we sat on the plane, finally landed, then got on a hot magic school bus. It took another 30 minutes to get here. Then they tried to get us to stay on the school bus. We had people like crying on our bus. There's like 50 tents that are ready and all the rest aren't. What did the guy say when he checked you in?
The plush carpet.
The flush carpet.
Flush down the toilet.
So I think one of the problems is that they promised you the world, and when we got here, nothing was expected, and most of the stuff hadn't even been set up yet.
I'm Dad, if I don't make it home, I love you guys. I know you told me and Matt not to come on this, but we still did.
So these were the lines to check in. As you can tell, look at the concierge booth to the left. Nothing was set up. There weren't enough employees. No one knew where to go. And it just took so much time to get everything done. That actually is Billy McFarland standing up right there trying to figure things out. I think he was trying to calm people down and at least figure out some sort of temporary solution.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
No one can get in the rooms, no one can get their bags. We've been here for hours.
The sun is going down.
The sun's going down.
The sun is really going down.
It's about to be pitch black out here.
People are panicking.
People are panicking, like tripping out.
How many beds?
So Jordan was one of our first friends that went to the island, and he's like, oh, it's amazing, it's beautiful. They took the first couple groups of people that got to the island to a different part of the island where the tents and beds and stuff weren't, to make people believe that it was better than it was and to make sure that everyone still came. Me to come here. I hate you. I hate you for telling me to come here. I hate you. I hate you. Oh. So at this point, what they started to do was have their employees walk around with tequila in hopes that people would get drunk and forget about the turmoil that was happening.
Ryan, go, Mattin, go.
Ready? I like a hat.
There wasn't enough tequila to fix this problem, by the way.
Teeter. Yeah, Teeter.
We're trying to make the best of the situation at this point and just drink and have a good time.
More, Jordan, another one.
Yo, what just happened?
So we went back to our tent where we put some of our stuff, only to find some random people in there. We told them it was our room and to get out, and they said pretty much when they check in, they're just telling everyone it's a free-for-all to just find an empty tent and grab it. So this whole place is pretty.
So some of us dropped our bags in a tent that was supposedly ours, and when we went back to it, there was someone in there, and our stuff was moved outside of the tent, and people were basically just moving into tents freely. I mean, you saw the line to check in. There was no organization, and people were just starting to take beds. It was kind of like free for all.
Juliana!
So we're currently in the dark, walking to try to find our luggage because we went to one place already. Our luggage is not there. This is like 5 or 6 hours later. We still don't have our luggage.
I mean, I'll open
None
it
of
up.
us know what to do now. It's getting late. Someone took our room. So at this point, we were just trying to find our bags and basically get back to the airport to try and get on a flight. No one had a flight back, and we still had no idea where our bags were. They literally could have been everywhere, so we were walking around in the dark with flashlights trying to find our stuff. They told us that it was a free-for-all.
So we have nowhere to stay.
Nowhere to stay. Some people are missing bags.
We're just trying to get our bags.
Pitch black out. There's trucks, craziness going on everywhere. Nobody knows what to do. All the resorts nearby are sold out. Another thing that we tried to do is contact there was only really 2 resorts, 1 or 2 of the resorts nearby to try and stay in them. They wouldn't even let people come on the property, not lobby, not common area, nothing. They wanted nothing to do with FYRE Festival, and they were all sold out. It's an actual disaster. I've talked to like 5 different people that work for FYRE Festival about trying to get a flight out of this place, and no one knows what to do.
There's no way to leave.
No one from FYRE had any clue carrying mattresses about anything. People were just carrying mattresses all over the place to find places to sleep. So we decided that it would be best to show up to the airport and just try to get on a flight back to Miami. Because everything was such a disaster, we showed up.
We weren't alone.
Yeah, there's a ton of people in here. So we found one of the bus drivers and tipped him to take us back to the airport to try and get maybe the first flight out, although there were no flights, and I guess some other people had the same idea we did. And it's a little crazy, but apparently there's a flight we can go back on right now. If I can get back to Miami, get in a shower, and get in a fresh bed, I will be so happy. So mind you, this is probably like 7 or 8 p.m. at this point, and we were just sitting around waiting in this airport. And this was the airport. It was literally like one room for like the check-in and then another room for the boarding room. So this is a part where we started to get a little nervous. We started to see tweets from FYRE Festival of people saying that things were burning down, there were gunshots. So these things started to make us even more nervous that all hell was starting to break loose.
Ryan weighs 145.
145.
145.
We were so bored we were playing games of who weighs what.
I don't know how to vlog. And here's Austin. What do you have to say? We had an amazing day. But they actually put us on an island that wasn't the actual island.
I think everyone was delusional at this point. So much closer. The plane is apparently on the way. Somehow, through all this madness, we managed to get some Polaroids. These are the pictures we took on the bus on the way back.
Oh my God!
So at this point, we were in the waiting room and they told us that there was a flight, so we were starting to board. We thought we were out of there. It was like midnight at this point. We made it! We made it! Jake, mind you, at this point,
We're out.
we're getting back.
How you doing?
We thought we had no flight. We thought we weren't getting home. We thought we were going to be stuck on this island.
We gotta get some water. Oh my God.
We had no food or water. all day. Literally all day, no food or water.
Air conditioning.
Are we vlogging?
Yeah, your fingers in front of the camera. You're not a very good vlogger.
I'm gonna get amazing content. Hey! Hey, you guys! Say hey! Vlog or
That might have to be the...
this? The worst thing I've ever purchased, ever. Yesterday.
Quick update, it's 3:15.
Also, another funny point, they had people load credits onto the wristbands before the actual festival started, and so whatever money you put onto the band that were credits, you just lost that money.
We're still on this plane.
Crazy.
So we were waiting on the plane, they couldn't figure out, I guess, how many people were on the plane, and the number weren't matching up, so we were just sitting on the plane and not going anywhere.
Some people are just getting delusional. Others are asleep. The Refused brothers are next to each other.
Never stop.
Oh, why don't you talk about how many times we've had to show our passports to these people?
An unbelievable amount.
We just kept showing them because they couldn't figure it out.
We need to pay attention. She's gonna be calling names. If she is done and she has not called your name, I want you to stand up and say, I was not called. I'm not gonna kick you out of the airplane. I just need to document you. So please pay attention.
Please.
Okay? Pay attention. The quicker we can do this, the quicker we get out of here.
4:51 a.m. Still sitting here.
Waiting for the sun to rise.
5 a.m. at this point. Now, we've been in the airport from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. with no, I mean, we might have had a little bit of water and some food at this point. I can't even remember, but it was minimal food and water. They couldn't match up the manifest, which was the people on the plane, to the amount of people on the plane. It wasn't matching up, so we couldn't take off.
To show all of you.
Everyone has put their eye masks on now. Mason has his on. We are officially off the plane. We got everyone off the plane in order to get a count of everyone back on the plane. I'm in my now. Everyone's getting off. So
this was their solution to try and
heading
fix
to
it.
be the worst 24 hours of my life. Now that it's 5 a.m. We were gonna book a hotel tonight, but instead payment suggested we book
Hotel tomorrow, baby.
Oh yeah.
I'm probably gonna look at this and be waiting in the aisle for someone.
Now again, at this point, we reboarded so they could figure out the number.
Yep, we got 111.
You got 111?
111!
And finally figured it out. But
The sun is officially out.
at this point, they had figured out the right number, but it was past the amount of hours that the flight attendants could work at one time, so we had to deboard.
Due to the length of the time that we have you here in the tarmac, there's a new policy that came out a few years ago, and I'm not allowed to keep you on the airplane anymore. I have to deplane everybody. There's a new crew coming in. We're gonna be able to fly the airplane out, and we can bring you back on board. But for right now, we're gonna have to deplane everybody. Unfortunately, it's not a company policy. It's a federal policy.
Let us go home. I know you guys are.
So they had to deboard us and fly in another crew to get on our flight to fly us back to Miami, which was, mind you, less than 2 hours away.
Are tired of seeing me, but it's now 6:40 and we are all in a waiting room. Yes, yes, beautiful people.
So they put us in this waiting room and locked us in the waiting room. Again, still not much food and water at this point from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Yes.
Actually, from the daytime, because there was no food and water at FYRE either, so from whatever, noon when we got there till 7 a.m. really haven't eaten or had any water.
What's up, guys? I'm back again. We're all in here and we're trying to get out of the country.
Also, they locked us back in this room because they had already boarded everyone and kind of figured out the passport situation, so they locked us in here. There was no air conditioning in this airport and still had no food or water, so people were starting to not do so well health-wise.
But we can't do it.
He's in this room? Yes, he's on the plane. This guy's been crushing it with the video.
We're just
William, me and him,
trying to figure it out.
Well, they said no police were coming. It was open?
There's the lock on the door.
Well, I fell asleep, but they had to open the doors because somebody passed out.
So I fell asleep. I was so tired I fell asleep, but someone actually passed out from not having food or water. So they had to open like the little gift shop thing, get some chips and water out of there, and open the doors to get air circulating in the room.
Yeah,
there's the crew. They boarded us again.
Get us out of here! Always stealing the shine.
On the plane, they had us check our passports maybe 7 times.
So this is when we landed back in Miami. We're doing some interview with, I don't know, NBC or someone. We had reporters and stuff at the airport waiting to ask questions about it. This had caused such a frenzy and went so
viral. They said there were
viral.
booking issues. We got off of the plane, got back on.
Your experience? So me and about 12 of my friends here, we all were going to the Bahamas for a FYRE festival.
Meanwhile, I'm like trying to figure out how to send my files to my editor to get the vlog out.
We were all promised an 8-person villa where we would all stay together.
We made it. Success.
We made it. America.
We are alive.
Someone.
None of us passed out. This one just did a New Yorker interview.
See you there.
I'll make sure to put it in the bio. I think it's safe to say one of the worst 24 hours I've ever had in my life.
Clock it in 11:25 a.m.
Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree. I would absolutely.
So we were in that airport from, I'd say, probably 8 or 9 a.m. in Miami. Got to the Bahamas around noon, spent all day trying to find rooms and bags and all that stuff. Went to the airport 8 or 9 p.m. and then just got back to Miami at noon the next day.
Pretty bad. Like, what do you think?
I think it's pretty effed up FYRE.
Never did I think that this festival would turn into us being stuck in an airport for 6+ hours, people being held of water, air, they locked the doors on us, people were passing out. I never thought it would get this serious, but I'm just thankful that we landed now, and everyone is healthy, and that we're safe and on US land.
All right, so that is a wrap on that. Again, we were promised a lot and basically given nothing. I think that was one of the worst parts. Also, another was just the fear that people had felt getting to an island that was unknown to them, not knowing what was going on, not knowing like the safety of what was going on, not having somewhere to sleep, not having food or water, hearing about gunshots and fires and all these things that, you know, these were things that were spreading and we didn't know if they were true or not. We didn't know if we were gonna get back into the United States. So I think fear was probably the biggest, and then just the conditions that were promised and that were not delivered for, you know, X amount of dollars. We only paid $500. Some people paid thousands, 20,000 for a villa or whatever it was. But again, the comments in the original vlog were absolutely brutal and destroying, but I think a lot of people didn't know the backstory and what had went on. So I had always wanted to give an explanation of FYRE and what went down along with my video, to give a reaction, to walk you guys through it so you could fully understand where we were coming from. I think just a very poorly planned event. Was he trying to steal money from people and screw people over? I don't think so. I like to see the good in people. So I'm not sure that that was the answer, but I do feel bad for the people in the Bahamas for that didn't get paid, that didn't get taken care of, that put in all that work. But again, I think just poorly planned event. Probably won't be going to anything like that ever again unless I know there has been one in the past and it has succeeded. But that's a wrap on the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're out. Peace.